there, welcome into the show. My name is Chase Sr., and you're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. Coming up on today's show, blockbuster NFL trade reaction and how this Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, Minkah Fitzpatrick trade impacts the San Francisco 49ers in 2025. You take a look at the trade details for this blockbuster trade, which went down on the final day of June on Monday. Steelers receiving perennial All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey, in addition to Pro Bowl tight end Jonnu Smith. Steelers also get a 2027 seventh-round pick, and the Dolphins get All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, great ball hawk on that third level, and a 2027 fifth-round pick. And this move right here, in addition to the moves that the Steelers have made this offseason, clearly goes to show that the Steelers are all in on trying to win a championship in 2025. I like what they've done. I think that Aaron Rodgers played a lot better last year than what people give him credit for, especially toward the end of the year. And he had no offensive coordinator, and the head coach got fired in Robert Saleh a few weeks into the year. It's risky because he's older, and a lot of these players who the Steelers are bringing in are older. But this is a really talented football club with a really good coaching staff. And so with the Steelers signing Rodgers, trading for Ramsey and Jonnu, these are moves that I think help improve their overall football unit, although I do think swapping Ramsey, older player, not in his prime any longer, for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's younger and better right now, is a little bit odd. But clearly the Steelers have a plan, and the plan is this. Mike Tomlin has not won a playoff game since 2016. It's almost a decade. He's never had a losing season. That's very impressive. Mike Tomlin is a top 10 coach, and he can handle a lot of these bold personalities like Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Ramsey. But the Steelers, with these bold moves, are showing everybody that they think they have a team that is capable of being a contender in the AFC. And I think that they can be. I know that Baltimore and Cincinnati are in that division. Cleveland as well. And it's a very competitive division. Who's to say the Steelers can't win it? In the AFC, I think Kansas City, with how badly they got beaten by the Philadelphia Eagles, they're vulnerable. The Buffalo Bills can never get over the top. Lamar Jackson hasn't had a lot of playoff success. The Bengals defense, it stinks even though Joe Burrow put up video game-like numbers. And so the AFC is wide open. Pittsburgh is trying to take advantage of that, and really, they just need to be okay offensively because I think that they can be elite on the defensive side of the ball. When you bring in a DK Metcalf, that helps you even though you trade away George Pickens, another malcontent. And I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to go there, and they're going to be able to play sound offensive football, ball control, really good defense, very good on special teams, and just be a balanced roster in 2025. What I don't know about the Steelers is what they're going to do at the cornerback position. They have a lot of talent at that spot. Joey Porter Jr. is a player who I loved coming out of Penn State. He's been very good to start his NFL career. They brought in an All-Pro Pro Bowl player in Darius Slay from the Philadelphia Eagles. They signed him to a one-year, $10 million deal in NFL free agency. Where does Jalen Ramsey align? Is it going to be on the outside? Is it going to be on the inside? If he's on the outside, that means that Porter or Slay take a step back. And if he takes over in the nickel, Beanie Bishop was a ball player last year, and he was producing a lot of turnovers for that Steelers defense. There has been some chatter that maybe Jalen Ramsey is going to transition to safety this late in his career. That would make sense because the Steelers did trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick. On the Dolphins side here, they do get some financial flexibility. They save over $10 million with this move, and they can move off of Minkah Fitzpatrick if it doesn't pan out in 2025. He has this year and next year left on his current contract, but as we know, sometimes that final year really doesn't matter because those players are always looking for contract extensions. I will say this, too, about the Dolphins. Head coach by Mike McDaniel, who used to work under Kyle Shanahan for a long time, even before him coaching with the San Francisco 49ers. Miami is a team I have absolutely no clue about going into 2025. They could contend for a playoff spot. They could be a disaster. Mike McDaniel could save his job. He could get fired at some point during the 2025 season. I'm not a big believer in Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not a big believer in the Dolphins as a team because I think when they have to go to a difficult environment, when they have to play in the cold, they're awful. They are front runners. They're a soft football team. It's hard to play in Miami with all of the distractions down there in the Miami and Miami Gardens area. And they just don't get acclimated with the cold weather well. And when they have to go to a cold weather climate, they freeze up. Tua stinks. Mike McDaniel's offense isn't good in the cold weather, nor is it good against some of the elite defenses, but they have also been an explosive team when Tua's been able to stay healthy when he's not dealing with the variety of concussion issues that he's had to deal with throughout his career. And so with that, I do want to ask you this, just to get your thoughts on this move yesterday, because even if you're a Niner fan, chances are you're watching NFL football all the time. So who won the trade? PIT for Pittsburgh, MIA for Miami. Sound off with what you think down in the comment section right now. I do want to pause and tell you about this phenomenal deal, thanks to our friends at Fanatics, and it's available limited time only. These Faithful to the Bay Niners shirts have been bumped down to just $18. All you have to do is use that link down below, chatsports.com/faithfulshirt. Use that link. It'll take you to Fanatics. Fanatics will know that we sent you. You can rep the Niners, you can look good, and you can get prepared for the upcoming 2025 season. Plus, it's a perfect shirt now that the summer is here. All right, how does this trade impact the 49ers in 2025? Well, first of all, the Niners miss out on Jalen Ramsey. All-pro player, still playing at a high level at that corner spot. Is he quite playing at an all-pro level? No, but last year he produced very well. He also had some familiarity with Gus Bradley and Robert Saleh when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And cornerback depth is a big concern for me with this Niners team. I like the starting potential three of Deommodore Lenoir, Upton Stout, and Renardo Green. But if an injury happens there, especially on the outside, you're relying on Trey Brown. You're relying on Jarrell Luter Jr., Saran Neal, Chase Lucas. They're more special teams players. I know a lot of people like what Derek Canteen did as a UDFA throughout the spring, but he's an unknown commodity. You have Trey Avery. You have Robinson. You suffer some injuries there. That secondary, that cornerback position becomes a big concern. And so I thought the Niners should have at least showed some interest in Jalen Ramsey. I think that he would have improved your unit here. And it's pretty telling that the Niners worked out Damon Arnett, a former first-round pick out of Ohio State by the Las Vegas Raiders. He dealt with legal issues, substance abuse issues. He went down to the UFL, played very well, and signed a deal with the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, coached by DeMeco Ryans, running the same defense that the Niners run. And so clearly DeMeco thinks that Damon Arnett is a fit there. And with the Niners showing interest, they believe they're a little bit shorthanded at that cornerback spot as well. Number two, how does this trade of Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith to Pittsburgh, Minkah Fitzpatrick to Miami impact TJ Watt? And what happens with probably the second best edge rusher in the game behind Myles Garrett? According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Pittsburgh hasn't shown any willingness to deal Watt so far, but he's unhappy with this contractual situation, and sources believe outside team interest is likely to increase given today's trade. There are a lot of teams across the league who are showing interest in TJ Watt. Could one of those teams be San Francisco? They have a bunch of cap space. There's this from Tom Pelissero that the Steelers have no intention of trading TJ Watt. It's been a 5-time All-Pro in the last 6 years, and their focus remains on extending Watt's contract. Watt turns 31 in October. He's due $21+ million in the last year of his current deal. Getting a little bit older. He's dealt with some injury issues. He's going to demand maybe $40 million per year, maybe overtake Myles Garrett to become the richest defensive player in the history of football. Does Pittsburgh want to pay him that? Do they want to tie themselves to TJ Watt long term, who not only is a star pass rusher, he's elite against the run. Now, with the Niners using the 11th overall pick on Michael Williams and then also drafting Alfred Collins in the 2nd round, CJ West in the 4th round, the Niners clearly have rebuilt their defensive line with young players. But where it becomes interesting is you look at how much cap space the Niners have. They weren't willing to use it on Jalen Ramsey. Could they use it on TJ Watt? I'd say defensive ends, more valuable than corners. San Francisco has $45.6 million in cap space. This is the final year that Brock Purdy is going to be very affordable because he's still on that rookie contract before that extension kicks in. Could the Niners kick the tires on TJ Watt? Could another NFC contender trade for TJ Watt, which could directly impact San Francisco? And then there's this. Do other NFL trades happen? As I mentioned a little bit earlier, it's very rare that a trade of this caliber, of this amount of notoriety, happens on the final day of June. And we've seen a lot of movement here late in the offseason. Aaron Rodgers signing with Pittsburgh. Jalen Ramsey getting dealt. Do other NFL trades happen? Do the Niners look at corner or other positions on their team and they say to themselves, we need to get better at these spots? Sometimes there's a trickle-down effect. It's a copycat league. And sometimes when there are business transactions, it leads to other business transactions and other movement in the football marketplace and the corporate marketplace as well. Keep your eye on those couple of things right there. Before we dip on out of here, be sure to hit that subscribe button here if you want the best, most elite Niners coverage coming your way every single day right here on the Niners Report. Lock us in.